Hey, Barb.
Hello?
Hello, Barb.
Hey, I missed your call. I'm sorry.
Happy New Year, Barb.
Happy New Year.
Say hello, everybody on YouTube.
Hello, everybody on YouTube. Happy New Year to everybody on YouTube.
Yeah, the last time you talked to them was about a year ago, right?
Last year, yeah. Isn't that terrible? It'd be like so rude, you know, not talking to anybody for like a year ago.
You neglected us. I mean, what is that? It takes you a year to return my call?
No, isn't that terrible? It's terrible. I am such a bad person, eh? Oh.
So, Barb, what did you think about the Northwest run this week?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is so beautiful. I was just like, every single one, I was like, I've got to stop that picture of that so I can paint it. And then the next one, well, I got.
Uh-oh. Barb? Hello, Barb? I'm losing Barb. Hey, Ernie? Ernie? Hello? Kind of losing signal here. Yeah, no internet. Imagine that. Hello, Barb.
Are we back? We're back.
Yeah, we're back. We're back. So yeah.
Okay.
You cut off where you said you had to stop the video or something.
I would like say I've got to stop this and take a picture of it there so I can paint it. Then I'd watch the next one. I better stop this and get a picture so I can paint that. And it was like, I'm going to be painting for the rest of my life.
Yeah. I apologize for mentioning you on. I think I wore out your name on this trip.
Don't apologize to me. I mean, everybody else probably thought, Barb, there's this crazy Barbie talking about all the time.
I don't know. Every time I see something really beautiful, I could think of you and your paintbrush and your colors
I loved it.
So, I mean, can you imagine if you were to go up there by yourself? I mean, you could totally get lost up there, Barb.
I really would. I would just like gotta stop. That's what I said. I could never go on the road because we would never get nowhere. Stop.
Yeah, especially the Snoqualmie Pass. Boy, that was nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the last part of the pass on Idaho, that was amazing also.
Oh, I know, it was. It was just unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, where I live at in the Ozarks, it's really beautiful. I think it's like, I'll call it God's country because we've got like lots of underground springs that come up in their ice blue crystal water, and it's, you know, woods and hills everywhere, and we think this is beautiful, but that's beautiful too. I mean, it's a different beautiful.
Oh yeah, beauty comes in many places and different shapes.
Oh yeah, but I'm gonna paint it. I am gonna paint it. I'm about 4 paintings behind right now. A guy was supposed to come over here today and bring me a full turkey fan that he wants a mountain man painted on. And then the wings, he wants a bear and a cougar painted on. He's going to mount it like that.
Wow.
So I'm waiting on him.
What did you think of Coeur d'Alene Lake? Lake Coeur d'Alene?
Isn't that beautiful? But see, we call it Coeur d'Alene.
Coeur d'Alene.
Maybe that's a hillbilly thing. I don't know.
Well, maybe that's just my Filipino thing. Coeur d'Alene. There you go. I can.
Coeur d'Alene, like Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to clear something up. You know, my last video you did with me, everybody kind of got the idea that I've had such a tragic, terrible life, and you know, parts of it was. But I was raised like Beaver Cleaver, totally Beaver Cleaver. Mom and Dad was always there. I always got what I wanted, mainly within their reason, you know, their budget. And I've had a great life, and it's still great, but just not as many people around to share it with anymore. But don't feel sorry for me. I'm okay.
Yeah. Especially with God's in our hearts, we can't go wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. I just didn't want anybody to feel sorry for me and think, oh my God. But my lesson, you know, when I tell people that, my lesson to that is, don't take a day for granted, because tomorrow you may not be able to go see these things. You may not be able to go do things.
Yeah.
So don't take a day for granted. Do it now. Do everything now when you can.
Yeah.
I tell kids that all the time, girls especially, you know, young girls that just get head over heels over some silly boy. I'm like, please, go do what you want to do. Go to college, get money to support yourself, and see the world. Do what you want to do first. Because tomorrow you may not have that option.
Yeah, it's a sad thing. In fact, one of our family friends is a 16-year-old that just recently had a baby, and you know, giving a baby is a wonderful thing, but I don't know. It just, there's a time and a place,
right?
And 16 is never the time or place to give.
No, my gosh, you got so much. I mean, contrary to what 16-year-olds believe, they're stupid. They don't know anything. And a woman, to me, a woman does not know herself until her middle 30s. Before then, she's stupid. I was stupid. I know a lot of girls are stupid. But when you get in your middle 30s, then you start finding out what you want and what you're like. And by then, you've married this guy that is totally not what you even care about. And you're stuck there unless you can find a way to get out. But you know, most girls, that's where they find themselves. I mean, it isn't like it was 80 years ago when a 16-year-old girl would meet a man out in the country, you know, and that's the only man for 100 miles, and they get married and live in a house and never see nobody for 50 years. That marriage is going to last, but it's not that way anymore. There's too much other stuff coming at people, at women anyway.
Yeah, it sure is. And having two girls of my own at the house, it terrifies me.
Oh, I imagine. Just tell them to listen to my story. Tell them to listen. I'll fill their heads with good stuff.
By the way, sad to say that the necklace that you gave me, I don't own it anymore.
That's okay. That's quite okay. She probably looks fantastic in it. It looks good on you too, but that's okay.
Jackie and
I'm
AJ,
glad she liked it.
Yeah, they both liked it, and I've got in front of me is the peace bracelet, which is pretty darn cool myself. I mean, I liked it. So.
Well, I thought of that. I thought of you when I seen that one. I was like, that's him. Peace.
Yeah. So,
I'm gonna make one. I talked to my sister this morning, and I told her I was planning on making one with silver round beads, a graduating large to small, and then the front's going to be two silver leaves meeting with a turquoise pendant in between them. And I was planning on making it for myself, and she said, "Oh, you're making that for me?" I said, "Yeah, I guess if you want it, I'll make it for you." I got that to make now.
Just a little hint there, right?
Yeah, just a little one.
Yeah. So how did you spend New Year's?
I sit here and watched all the silly people in St. Louis, those silly protesters that are causing all the havoc and stuff. I would sit and watch them till 10 o'clock now. I thought, well, they're going to have to get crazy by themselves. I'm going to bed.
They're still at it?
Yes. Oh, my Lord. They get in the police. They stormed the police, the Metro Police Station yesterday. And then they wonder why they got maced in the face.
Do they even know what they're protesting about still?
I think they've forgotten now. I think they've all forgotten now. But Seattle's doing it. There's people in Seattle getting killed over it. New York, they're all over acting silly like that. And my sister lives, I bet my sister lives probably 3 minutes from Ferguson.
I saw a video of what's that guy's name? That kid, Michael Brown, or
Mike Brown, yeah.
Yeah, I saw him beating up a really old guy on Facebook.
I know. Well, I posted that, and I'm not sure. I can't say for sure that's Mike Brown. That's what it said when it come my way. But if it is Mike Brown, I'd have shot him right there, I think. Yeah, that made me so mad. That was so hard to watch.
Yeah.
That part of St. Louis has always been black and white. And they've always got along for the most part until this younger generation's coming up, the thugs that don't want to work, you know, and that are on drugs and everything. And they're kind of trying to take over everything now. And it's really given a bad name to the older people that live in that neighborhood that keeps their houses nice, that have worked and got pensions and stuff. They're kind of caught in the middle, you know. They can't move because they can't really afford to. They've got their house there, and it's a sad thing all the way around.
I really believe that somebody is gassing this up. Somebody out there. Somebody out there with special interest in some kind of, you know, power bee that wants to fuel this, and they want to fan it because. Well, you know.
Well, Al Sharpton came down there and fueled it a lot. I mean, he fueled it a lot. And did you see, I sent that one thing to you that I got. It was a tweet from somebody in Ferguson that says, kill the truck drivers. They're bringing supplies in for all the police.
Wow.
I mean, they have been shooting people off the highway in St. Louis. I said, there ain't no way I could go to St. Louis. No, don't tell them, don't ask me to, no. Because they'd see my little red Mustang and think, well, that old lady's easy. They'd take my Mustang after the fight, but they'd take it, I'm sure. They're car thieving and everything. They surrounded the Lamborghini last night at the airport, and the cops came in and got them away from it. They were gonna trash it, I think, or carjack it.
You know, I wish people would stop calling Al Sharpton Reverend. I mean, I just.
I know.
It's like calling Hitler, you know, Gandhi. I mean, it's just because his name he calls himself a reverend, that doesn't mean he's a. You know, I don't know. It just.
But did you hear what Donald Trump said about him?
What's that?
He said, I know him really well. I've known him for a long time. He is a con artist. He is a thief and a murderer and a liar. He owes millions to the IRS and never paid it. Me or you would be in jail by now of that.
Yeah.
And he went to Ferguson. He fueled all this stuff up. So I'll get all these kids fired up. And that's all he is.
Yeah.
And it's the truth.
It's a. But anyway, so what's good? What's good today, Barb?
Chili. We're having chili. That's what's good.
Oh wow! I could sure get some chili right now. Well, I could have.
Go ahead.
I could have used some chili when I was in Butte, Montana. It was minus 16 degrees. Whew.
Oh, that's cold.
I know it. You know that. You know, on the back of my sleeper, I had the sleeping bag on top of the bunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's down in the second lower bunk now. I've got 2 blankets and a sleeping bag over me, along with the electric heater bed warmer now.
You don't have do you have a bunk heater?
I have a bunk heater. Well, there's a little tool. It's called Webasto heater. It's an aftermarket heater. It runs on diesel because when we park, we don't idle the truck. I mean, it does all right, but when it's down to the -10 and -16 degrees, it doesn't do anything. it just blows cold air.
Cold. That is cold.
But I have this little blanket or this little pad that you plug into the cigarette lighter, and it's kind of like the electric blanket, but instead of putting it on top of you, you lay on it.
Oh wow, I'd like to have one of them.
Yeah, and the nice thing about it is when you go to bed, when you open the covers, and the whole mattress just feels like, that blanket you get out of the blanket that you get out of the dryer, and you put it around. Yeah, that's what it feels like.
That'd be nice. I wouldn't want to get out from there. I'd be like, ow.
Yeah. So
the only other thing we've done, I got Doc, which is my other half, a new game camera for Christmas, and he had set it up down by our pond. He brought the card back in a while ago, and there's one huge 9-point buck that's hanging out down there, an 8-point buck, a spike buck, a huge doe, and 2 smaller ones.
Yeah, that would be cool, right?
Well, it's not season now, but it was black powder season. He's got a black powder gun, and he went down there and tried to get one of them, but they all came in at night that night, and he didn't see one of them.
Yeah, come to think of it, I had to set up my camera in my backyard and see some rabbits.
He went rabbit hunting this morning, but he didn't get any.
Yeah.
I love rabbit and wild turkeys and deer. That's like 3 of my favorite meats is deer, wild turkey, and rabbit.
Never had rabbit. I would imagine it'd be really tender.
It's not really. You got to soak it in salt water for a long time. The leg muscles, the back is really tender, but you got to score it and fry it. Before you fry it, you got to score it so it'll cook throughout. And it kind of tastes like, I'm not gonna say chicken, but it's kind of the texture of chicken. But it's just a nice tasting. It's not real gamey, like you would think a wild meat would be. It's good though.
Barb, what is that especially in Wyoming? Wyoming is not so big in deer, but they have that other
elk.
No, not
elk.
The smaller one. They look like deer, but they're white. They're gazelles. No, not gazelles.
No, I know what they are. I can't think of now what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean they look a little different, but they're. I saw a whole bunch of them over there in Montana, and man, they were gorgeous. They were just absolutely gorgeous. Oh, I don't know why I can't think of the name of that stuff.
I can't either, but I know what they are. I went to Wyoming. Wyoming one time. I flew into Denver and drove up from Denver. Had somebody pick me up in Denver, and we drove up to Hannah, Wyoming. I stayed there a week. Had a nosebleed every single day. But I went trout fishing, and we went through Yellowstone and everything, and then I flew back home. It was the 4th of July, and there was snow out there in Yellowstone. And I get back to St. Louis and get off the plane, and it was like this heat hit me in the face. I was, whoa, let me go back. It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was nice out there. It was really nice.
What's your favorite state you've been to?
My favorite state? Probably Wyoming.
Wyoming? I see.
Yeah, I want to go back there one day. When I was there, they were just building. I mean, they had the Custer Museum, and they were just building the Indian Museum onto it, so it wasn't finished. I'd like to go see that.
Yeah.
But I like New Mexico and Arizona too.
Oh, you would love Montana, Idaho, North Dakota with the rivers and the pine trees, and the snow.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was just absolutely gorgeous over there.
That's when you were coming through that one pass, and I thought, it's so beautiful, and I could only imagine what it was like to sit in that truck and have those mountains on both sides that beautiful. It would just be like breathtaking.
It is.
And you know when you said pick your jaw up, Barb, I honestly I swear on my life I had just my mouth had just flew open like oh my God, and you said that at that instant.
Yeah, I was beginning to be a little weary of wearing out your name there because I just yeah,
it was awesome.
I
awesome.
love this trip, and I was so fortunate that the weather held out really good this trip. It gave me a little scare going towards when I was going towards Washington because
when the snow started snowing.
Yeah, it started snowing.
Yeah, I was a nervous wreck too, and I wasn't even there, John.
Yeah, when the drive tire started to slide, like, oh no,
Yeah. I've been in a wreck in the snow, and it was no fun. And if it snows a little bit, I don't go nowhere.
Yeah.
Funny how though, when you're young, I said this on one of the comments. I used to have this evil Knievel attitude where nothing stopped me. I could go drive, I could ride anything, drive anything, go through anything. But after so many wrecks and so many mishaps I've had, that kind of went away now. Just like I stay home.
Yeah. I don't know. It just only by the grace of God that I survived this far because.
Me too. Me too.
Back in my day, I rode my motorcycle through town like there was no end. It was just, I don't know.
Yeah, I did too. Well, my nephew my nephew is just like 2 years younger than me, so we grew up like brother and sister, and he got a dirt bike. Well, not to be undone, my dad went and got me a bike, but he got me a street bike. I had a Honda 350. So I would ride this 350 on dirt roads and stuff right along with them trail bikes, and I had it down more than I had it up. But I wasn't stopping. I was going with the boys, and I laid it down a lot.
So you grew up like a tomboy, didn't you?
Yeah. I had a rifle when I think I was 5 when Dad bought me my first rifle and taught me to squirrel hunt, and I'd always go squirrel hunting with him. And deer hunting. I'd go deer hunting with him every now and then. And I had motorcycles and trucks and rode horses and did all that stuff.
Yeah, AJ and Jackie, they love going hunting too, but in one of those big super malls.
I can't hardly stand them big super malls.
I know. And I hate it when they go hunting. My wallet starts to burn up.
Yeah. I hear that. They can sure take it fast.
So what's in store for 2015 for Barb Miller?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe try to get my back in shape to where I can do something, and that's every year, but maybe this year it'll happen. And I don't know of anything else other than create more paintings and things, and that's all.
Yeah.
No big plans. No big plans, the usual, lose weight, eat better, stuff like that. Everybody else tries to do and lasts for a month.
Oh, good grief! Don't say the W word. I
really good. I do really good until Doc will say like, "Well, I got this rabbit or something. Then I've got to fry the rabbit, and then I've got to eat some of that." And
I know.
Don't work.
Oh well.
It don't work. Yeah. When you go out to California, I get so nervous watching you drive in that traffic, because traffic bothers me anymore. I can't really stand it. It's like, where are all these people going? Where are they going? Why don't they stay home? There's so many people out there. I'm not used to it anymore.
Somebody explained that to me. Okay, it's like in Hong Kong when you rent an apartment, you actually just rent a bed. You have 10 hours to sleep in that bed, and then when your 10 hours is up, you have to get out. No, I'm still here.
Okay.
In some parts of Hong Kong, you rent a bed for 10 hours. After 10 hours is up, you got to get out because somebody else is going to be sleeping there. Well, somebody explained to me that in California, that's what they do. That's why there's so many people on the road, because half of them are sleeping and half of them have to get on the road because... Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was just kidding.
I know. You know, Doc used to drive over the road, and I would go with him sometimes. He would pick up, well, he would leave here, hauling pallets to Chicago and Gary, Indiana, and we would haul steel back down to Springdale, Arkansas. I would be up for 4 days solid, watching, looking. That last day, I would sleep 24 all the way back to the house. I couldn't go to sleep the whole time until I just wore plumb out. And then I was dead and had to go to sleep before I got home.
You don't sleep well when the truck is running? When the bed is bouncing up and down?
No, it wasn't that. It was I had to see everything.
Ah, yeah, okay.
You have to watch everything. And my brother-in-law, I got to tell you this story. And I wanted to tell you this story because some of your listeners are the old school truckers. My brother-in-law used to drive a truck, and his handle on the CB was Dominecker Rooster.
Dominecker Rooster.
And he drove for Trans Am and for another one out of Joplin. I can't think of the other one. But he had a red truck. He went and bought his own red truck, and he had a big rooster painted on the back of the cab, you know. And he came home one day, and he told my sister, he said, "Wanda, come outside. I want to show you something." So she went out there, and my sister was 6 foot tall. I'm 6 foot tall, but she was 6 foot tall and blonde. And she went out there, and there was this great big hen painted on the other side of that tractor with great big Dolly Parton boobs and big blonde hair, and it had Wanda Ray wrote underneath it. She got so mad. She said, "I will never go on the road with you again, Keith Mooney, not with that painted on it." And she never went with him again. It made her so mad. He would do stuff like that all the time, though. He trucked his whole life. The whole time I knew him, he trucked, except for they moved to Montana and lived in Montana for a little while. He was a bricklayer, and he did that while he was up there, and he come back here and trucked after that.
My wife is completely the opposite of you, because when my wife goes with me on one of my road trips, all she ever does is go to sleep. She loves the rocking and rolling bed and just.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, does AJ ever want to go with you?
Not anymore. I lost that privilege 2 years ago.
Aw.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Like, did she go to California with you?
I brought her to San Francisco one time, or not San Francisco, but like Oakland, all that stuff. Never really made it to San Po, but yeah.
Huh, well, you could tell her that there's a new shopping mall out there. Maybe she'd load up and go with you then.
Yeah.
I promise I'll stop, AJ. Just jump in. We'll go.
Yeah. She knows better now.
Oh. Yeah, well, my nephews never wanted to go with their dad either. The one did when he was little, and they were parked at a truck stop, and he was setting up. He was like me. He stayed up all the time. And my brother-in-law went back and got in the sleeper and went to sleep, and he said, "Now, Randy, whatever you do, don't answer the door if somebody knocks on the door." Well, he's sitting up there in the trailer, you know, in the passenger seat, looking around at everybody, and this girl comes up and knocks on the door. he rolls the window down. Hi, how are you? You know, and she said, you want any company? And he said, well, I don't know. My dad's asleep, and I'm pretty lonely. I'm just sitting here. And you could hear Keith in the back going, don't roll down the window. Don't talk to her. Roll the window up. Lock the door.
You know, one thing I've noticed for the past year or so, I haven't seen too many prostitutes on truck stops anymore.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
it's not like it used to be, where, man, I hated it when, you know, I can a little bit sympathize when they knock on your door when you're sitting in the passenger seat or in the driver's seat. But when they're knocking on your door while you're already asleep, oh man, that really bothered me a lot. But lately, I don't know. I think most truck stop, they've cleaned up all that garbage. So
good. That's good. There used to be one just outside St. Louis and Fenton that was terrible. Oh, it was terrible. My nephew would drive in and call me, you know, from there, and I lived in the city. He would call me. He said, come and get me. I'll leave truck here, and we'll spend the weekend together. And I'd go get him, and it'd just be like, I'm so glad you got here. My lands, he said, the people were knocking on my door. We'd load up and go into the city, and he'd stay the weekend with me there. But we went, one night he come in, and he said, we were all getting ready to go out, me and all my cousins and my nephew. And my nephew Ricky, he said, let's have Chinese food. I said, okay. Well, we had neither one had very much Chinese food up until that point. And we went in this Chinese restaurant. We stood there and looked at the menu, and I said, what do you want to get? He said, I don't know. I said, I don't either. He said, give me one of everything. We got to the house, we had things nobody even knew what they were, but we ate it all.
Yeah. Oh, I remember a couple of times when I was in Chicago. Barb, I couldn't, I tell you, it was about -10, -5 degrees out. And these girls were out there working. And she came up to my door and she said, you want some company? I said, no, thank you. She said, could I just come in and warm up a little bit?
Oh my gosh.
And it was so cold, so I did. And you know, and she stood, you know, in the passenger seat, and I gave her a new clean pair of socks because her feet was just blue.
Isn't that terrible?
Oh man, I don't know. And she, you know, tried to give her a little bit of warm coffee and some clean socks, and she, a couple minutes later, she went out and back to work.
You know, I always thought it must be really hard to get that low to do that. But then there's some women that like to do that, I guess, you know. I don't understand it, never did, but who am I to say, right?
You know, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I've done some bad jobs to make $1, like cleaning out horse shit and stuff, but, I mean, you could do that. They could do that. They could go get a regular job, but some of them don't really want to, so.
Yeah.
To each his own.
Yep. Well, Barb, it's been nice talking to you, so hopefully it won't take you another year to come and call me.
Okay, I hope not either. I hope not either.
So,
hey, I think that's a good idea with that Carlos and Dahlia says.
Yeah.
About him together. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm in.
Well, the only thing I'm not really quite sure is they're the one talking about this, and I'm not really sure what's going on. I think they're trying to set this.
We'll invite you.
They're trying to set this up without my knowledge here, so I don't know. Well,
just hang in there, John. We'll invite you when it starts.
All right. Yeah. Barb, nice talking to you, and Happy New Year.
You too. Happy New Year. Tell your wife and girls Happy New Year.
Will do.
Talk to you later, bud.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Always enjoyed talking to Barbara. So, all right, we'll catch you in a little bit. Peace.